Hello. Hi. Hello, hello, hello. I'm live. Happy Monday. You guys, I passed this time. I passed. I got my driver's license. Let me turn off this. Um, uh, I didn't know. I think I've always had test anxiety. School anxiety. I've obviously always had ADHD, only I was just diagnosed in 2025. 2024, early 2024. Um, yeah, I've always had anxiety. I didn't have a word for it when I was a child or even when I was a teen. But I've always had test anxiety. And to find out, like, after you go through all the anxiety, do I have the right stuff? Do I have the right paperwork? Can Ian get a real ID? I didn't really need a real ID because I had a passport, but it would have been nice to get it. I ended up being able to get my real ID because my maiden name was on Ian's birth certificate. So I have a real ID and a passport. So, but welcome in. One watching, thank you for being here. I'm going to light the candle because Red's followers are called flames. This little light of mine, I'm going to let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm going to let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm going to let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. So welcome in. Zero watching. Thanks for watching the replay. I say that throughout. My video from not last month was maybe it was last Monday. Let me see. So Monday I've decided I'm gonna do prayer, poetry, and politics every Monday, and Friday I will try to be lighter, try to not be as serious, try to make it a funner live. So at lunch. But I am interviewing for a job this evening, babysitting job on the Care app. So that's exciting. Let me play you a little something on my flute. That's from Lord of the Rings. I wanted to show you my little bunnies I have. I get out for Easter. My mom sent me these bunnies, and they're just like little dollar store bunnies. But I kept them. I had to decide like what to keep and what not to keep between so many things and so many things that were nostalgic or sentimental when I left Georgia, because I had a ton of stuff when I left Georgia in 2020. And I decided to keep these. My mom wrote each of my children's names at the time. This one's Ian, and he's digging in the sand. And she got them at, I don't know where she got them. They look like the little things just from the dollar store. And And that's the girl bunny, and that's my fourth child. And I actually had another bunny that was from my mom, so I have that as my youngest child. And because my mom loved Easter. I also have these little eggs. I dug these out. It took me a long time because like all my decorations, like holiday decorations, are in one big plastic bin. I only had like 3 big plastic bins because I fit everything I own again into my car to move to California, like when I left Georgia, and also like when I left St. Louis. St. Louis, it was easier because I had everything I own in my RV, so I didn't have that much stuff. And so it was more, it was the most complicated when I left Georgia. This egg says joy, and this egg says peace. But I really, really love Easter like my mom did, and everything. I went to an Easter egg hunt on Saturday and met some more of my neighbors. A young mother lived here when she was a child, and now she is married, has a baby, and lives here now. So that's so cute, and must be, yes. Hi, Pam. Yes. I passed. I got mine. So excited. So yeah, so relieved. He had said he was so relieved that he passed it, so he didn't have to take it again, because I'm sure he has some, but he also has more practice with taking tests and stuff because he did 4 years of college, so or maybe 5, I don't know. Wait, 2012, 2013, 2014, 2015, 2016, 2017, 2018. Not probably 5.5. But he graduated from the University of Georgia in 2018, and he has a business degree. So, and he had more recently taken his test. Like, I don't believe I had to take a written test even in Georgia. I was like 22. Yeah, I was 22 in 1988 when we moved to Georgia. I didn't have to take another written test. I was, and then it was 2020 until I was in Georgia for 32 years. That's where I raised my 5 children. And then when I left Georgia in 2020, went to St. Louis area and got my driver's license in Illinois. And that was no written test. I never dreamed I would have to take a written test again. And they make you do it every so many years too. I don't know how many years it is. Maybe at a certain age. I'm not sure. I'd have to look it up. But I told them I don't think it's on there anywhere that new residents have to. But they do keep asking me, like, have you ever had a California driver's license? And I said, no, I left here when I was 12. Got my driver's license in Florida. So like 1983. So, yeah, not in Illinois, not in Colorado. So yeah, that's something unusual. So California, if you're coming back to California, of course, my tax man called me freaking crazy for why are you going to California? Everybody's leaving there. Dude, none of your business. Like, leave me alone. So, yeah. I need to get a new candle because I think this one's done. Okay, so I'm going to thank God for my food. I got salad with turkey on it and everything. I got a little bread from Cheesecake Factory. I got a drink, pretty sure I'm a mermaid. I got sesame ginger dressing. So yeah. So yeah, thank you so much for being here, Pam. I'm going to show you where. Well, I sent Pam a picture, but Pam gave me the. There's my hibiscus, and here's my wind chime, and the tree where Ian hung it that Pam got me. Can you see that? I like the shade here. It's nice. This tree just drops so many leaves, though. It's like continuously. But okay. But it's a lovely tree. I'm not sure what kind of tree it is. And they have this thing up here. They have this thing too. So that's nice. So, one watching, thank you for being here. So my one that, let's see, my live that has 142 now. Yeah, it's last Monday. So let's see if we can get this live to 142. That would be pretty cool. Yeah, last Monday's lunch live is to 142. Fridays is to 26. So yeah, thank you. My shorts seem to do better. I might try to do a short every day if I have time. But I might start babysitting. I think we might still paint the rest of the house. I'm still like trying to decide like how I feel about that. And it was just like I'm like monitoring my anxiety, and I learned a lot. Like I have Martha Beck's link below because she's helped me a lot with the anxiety. I just read her book or listened to her book on Audible, Beyond Anxiety. And I have her link below, and I have the political links below, and I have the religious links below. And so, yeah, we talk about controversial things at Reds like religion and politics because they're important. And I want to drop the link to Park Road Permaculture because she's just really keeping me informed on everything. And maybe we'll listen to this video after I eat because why did that go there? I don't know why I did that. Okay. But check out this channel. She also has gardening too. It's not all just one thing, but she's talking about the man Garcia, which is just, it's very serious. This man that they unjustly sent to El Salvador. Am I spelling culture wrong? Culture. Yeah. So let's be grateful. I had a good Easter. I hope you all had a good Easter. I decided to go to Coda at Lestat's Coffee House in San Diego. And then I was at the beach and I texted Ian, and then Ian met me at the beach. And then we came back here and grilled. And grilled some sausages and had spaghetti with it. Okay, I have the package. Thank you, Brenda. I'm gonna go get my package. Probably Wednesday though. I'm gonna have a day to stay home. Unless I go work, but I don't think I'll be starting that soon. But I'm gonna have an interview this evening about a babysitting job of a baby and one child, which will be nice. And yeah, so that's good. And other than that, I don't think I'll be going anywhere tomorrow, but I might go Wednesday. And we have to get our stuff out of our storage because it's going to be charged on the 26th, I think. So we need to get our stuff out of storage. So we'll stop being charged for that. And I'm going to thank God for my food. Dear Lord, thank you for this food. Thank you for these friends and followers. I pray you bless them. Please help us in resisting fascism. Thank you for my salad, my food, and for all your blessings on me. I pray these things in Jesus' name. Amen. So, yeah, I got salad. It has everything on it. I made it like a couple of days ago. Usually I eat the salad the next day, but I've been eating a lot, and I don't like to have like more than one big meal. And actually, this kind of makes a big meal. Let me show you. It's got a lot of turkey on it. It's got cheese on it. It's got avocado on it. It's got artichoke hearts, tomato, cucumber, carrots, lettuce, of course. It's got all sorts of things on it, and I have sesame ginger dressing and a piece of bread from the Cheesecake Factory. And this, which is this orange cream from Statter Brothers that's low sodium, calorie free, and caffeine free. But it has artificial sweeteners that Ian doesn't like. And this smells good. Artichoke heart fresh. Yeah, she keeps up on everything. I don't know how she has time to garden anymore. And, well, she unschools her children, which is basically what I did. I called it homeschooling. I was really unschooling because I didn't do much with them, honestly. To be honest, I pretty much let them do a little schoolwork and then play. I love salad. So I took my lunch to eat at the beach yesterday, and then Saturday might be the day I made the salads. I don't know. I made 4 salads and we hadn't eaten them. I think I made them Saturday. I made them Friday or Saturday. And then yesterday I took the chicken and rice to the beach. This turkey from Costco is very good. Yeah, maybe we'll talk about mental health on Fridays, talk about politics on Mondays. I don't know. But we'll talk about politics on Monday and kind of have it a little bit lighter on Fridays. Yeah, I met some people from, because it was 420. It was so busy. It was like miraculous that I found a spot to park. I have a lot of people commenting on my hair. And it's sort of funny because my hair is kind of an accident because I'm dyeing it back red, right? And I used to dye it back red, and it would be all the way red, because I'm Redheaded Riding Hood, it's my brand. I've been a redhead my whole life. But lately I've been letting it, grow out some, and it kind of looks really blonde. It's whitish. And people keep commenting on, I like your hair, I like your hair, I like your cut, I like the color. And I didn't really do this coloring on purpose. It's just that I dyed it red and it's growing out, and I just wait longer and then I'll dye it all back and it'll. So this lady and her daughter, she commented, I like your hair and I like your dress because I wore you can see in the video what I posted the video right here. What dress I'm wearing, it's from the World Market. I got it in Denver. I got rid of a lot of clothes when I left Georgia. Oh, so many clothes and scarves and stuff that I didn't hardly wear. And I had very little clothes. But just what I needed and what I wore when I traveled my RV. And then I got rid of some clothes too, because I had bought more when I left St. Louis to come to Denver. And so I replenished them finally. And one of the things I got was a dress that my straps show on my bra, or I wear it without a bra. And since I'm more comfortable with my bra strap showing than not wearing a bra, so I decided to wear it with my bra strap showing. So this girl commented, this lady and she was with her daughter and her grandson, commented on my dress, on my hair and my dress. And so I talked to them for 20 minutes. I was waiting for Ian. Ian was on his way down to meet me. I was at the beach for a long time. That's probably the longest I've been at the beach. since I got here, because I usually don't stay really long. I usually walk for maybe, I stayed at for an hour at the most. But they were from Yuma. And they came to the beach for 411. I mean, 411. 420. And I got the name of a tattoo person from her daughter. It was Tammy and Amber, I think. I said, a tattoo person here. And the mom didn't. They were both tattooed. But the daughter did. I just went to a Buddhist center where I got these beads, prayer beads, and this little turtle. See? And this is my t-shirt from the last place I went in my RV was Memphis. Was Graceland. That was the last place I went in my RV before I sold it. I was on my way back from Georgia to St. Louis. I love my salads. I put everything in them. See, that's what I thought I could do. But I didn't want to. I wanted to live in California. Because people kept saying Arizona's cheaper, live in Arizona. And I'm like, I don't want to live in Arizona. I want to live in California. And here I am. Yay. So when my kids were small and my parents moved back to California in 95, they kept saying, well, because my ex is an engineer, they're like, he could get a job out here. He could move out here. My mom would say that. But I knew my ex wouldn't do that. And since I honestly didn't like it as much when I was a conservative. I honestly didn't. That's what my brother doesn't. My brother's like, he hates California now. But he hated. Oh, my brother was so angry. And I feel like he still is angry. He's been angry his whole life, and he's still pretty angry. Which is really bad for you. He's pretty angry. But he hated Florida. Hated it. And I kind of think now, because I was like, how did we end up so different, my brother and I? Because we grew up Presbyterian, right? And really only my youngest brother, the two of us that they took to Florida, Boca Raton, Florida, embraced the Christianity, because the rest of them were liberal and also not really practicing their Christianity. They would be like, yeah, sure, we believe, but not really going to church and all that. So I think that taking us to Florida made us more Christian and more susceptible to cult-like groups, more conservative and Christian. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. 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 And yeah, and it all depends on like where you live. too, you know, like it does depend on where you live. Like if you want to, like I found cheap, there was a cheap house in Thermal, California, a house for maybe just under $300,000, 2,000, and you usually can't get anything but maybe a condominium, possibly a teeny tiny condominium. So here's my bread. Speak of the angel. Hi, Evan. I told them I have a friend in Yuma. Hi, Ivan. It was talking about you. Were your ears burning? Were your ears burning, Ivan? So, yeah. And I calculated I was going to save money because I was renting an expensive apartment. Oh, really? Oh, you're back in Saskatchewan. Is this around the time you usually go back? Ivan's a snowbird. And how is the weather up there? I got a little message from the church I left. Really sweet little couple, but I believe they are a mega couple probably. I brought up the politics, but they didn't talk about that. Just like, we miss you at church, Red, and he thought, I was still in Colorado, but this is Easter. Looks like a Christmas, picture. Honestly, doesn't it? Looks like a Christmas picture. This is the Easter picture Dave in Colorado sent. So yeah, I think it snowed. Sometimes it does snow there in just a bit sooner this time, by about a week. Mm-hmm. Yeah, my aunt. I'm wondering if they're gonna come back. Maybe I would go see her in California. So something came up today though, and 42 degrees, raining, windy, and snow in the forecast. I'm sorry. It was so beautiful at the beach yesterday. That's why I messaged my son to go down there, even though it's like 40 minutes, but it seems like short. It really doesn't seem like that long, because it's such a beautiful drive too through the mountains. It's kind of like going down the hill and through Poway and I guess I got on that 15. Yeah, it's nice drive. just saying. I showed a picture of where I was. That's Denver at Easter. Not a very Eastery picture, but things were just hopping at the beach for 420 and Easter. It was busy. So I got back and I had an hour. I mean, I can't believe I was ready early for this live stream. You got to chill just looking at that. Yeah, it looks like a little Christmas tree with the snow all over it. And I sent them. It's a really sweet. It's a really sweet. And there are very sweet MAGA people. They're not all the same, thank God. Some of the MAGA people are so nasty. They're so obnoxious and so bad, but this is a sweet couple at my Presbyterian church, and I told them, I said, thank you for contacting me, because and then when I left the Sanctuary Church in Denver, now I did live a little ways away, it was like 30 minutes to get there, maybe they thought, I don't know, but they never said, hey, we miss you, why aren't you coming anymore? Nothing. Nobody contacted me when I started going there either. No, and then I started going to the one in Parker, and I just loved it. And that was just November. The one in Parker I found on Finding and Affirming Church, and this is how I find a church that's not so MAGA, a church where I have something in common with the people and they're not. What should I say? They're not they're uninformed, they're not uneducated, they're not brainwashed. I don't know. And so I find a gay church, even though I'm straight, but I like to find an affirming church. And that's how I find a not MAGA infested church. Because I'm still Christian, but I'm not. And I got my little prayer beads. Ian had some prayer beads. And this little turtle at the Buddhist Center in San Diego. It's by Lestat's. And I walked by it because my parking spot was so far away. And it's ridiculous. It took me like 30 minutes to find a parking spot at the coffee house, but then I found one like that at the beach. Like, go figure. It was crazy. So, yeah, that's my strategy, and it works. And I found a lovely church in Parker after I tried I like the Sanctuary because their doctrine, I felt, was on the same page with their doctrine about hell, but probably solicitation call. But then when Harris took over, I was so excited, and I said that she's not young, she's my age. a woman there looked like her. She resembled her, only older, an older her. I know them. There's a lot of young families here. So, and this woman and her husband, especially, was very rude because I said that. And I'm like, oh no. So, and I thought it was very rude because he called me like blind Bartimaeus. Well, now we're talking about blind Bartimaeus. And I was like, what? Because I said his wife resembled Harris. And I was just like, not easily offended. I said, I'm sorry if I offended you. Then I said, stupid me, stupid codependent me said, I'm sorry if I offended you. And she said, I'm not easily offended. And but I guess her husband was, because he called me blind Bartimaeus, And I was just like, I think I'm gonna, what do they call it? Bolt, jump. I think I'm gonna bounce. That's it. So they said. So then I found the church on gaychurch.org, and yeah. And my pastor is actually trans, and I actually was driving through Magaland because I'm in a rural area again. I'm a blue dot in a red county in a blue state. That's what I am. I got the blue on today. This is from Sun Records. This is my shirt from Graceland. That was the recording company, Elvis's recording company. But Graceland was the last place I went in my RV before I sold it. So I'm trying to think. Yeah, was there any place else I went? No. I went back to Illinois, and then I sold my RV. So 3 watching. Thank you for being here. Thank you for watching the replay. Those of you who are going to watch the replay. Oh, I wanted to show you too. This, I brought my lunch to the beach in this bag you gave me yesterday. And then I collected rocks that I'm going to put in my garden. And so this bag is full of rocks and shells that I'm putting in my garden. So, and then that bag got heavy, and then I got another bag. I went back to the car since I parked close, and got another bag and got some more rocks and shells to put in my garden. So here, I don't know what kind of bird that is. Yes, so I got a lot of rocks, and I hope that might be what I'm going to do tomorrow. But I'm on this CARE app, and now I have a California driver's license. Ooh. Yeah, somebody wants me to care for 5 children. I need a sitter. I think this is an overnight payment method. 8 hours. Huh. From Thursday until Friday. 1, 4, 8, and 7. I'm getting another call. So there's all these different, I think it's kind of good that I'll work with this app because then I could take as many or as little jobs as possible. And like maybe I can work and work and work and earn up some money and then kind of, because I don't want to be like with the lifeguarding job. It just got so I wasn't having, enough time to write in YouTube. Less than 1 year old. Oh, goodness. Less than 1 year old, 1 year old, 4, 7, and 8. 5 children. Make $208 in 5 hours. I think it's an overnight job. I don't know. Yeah. I'm not sure. My kids were way spaced apart. I mean, I had 5 children, but I didn't have them all close in age. Like for an example, 2005, my oldest graduated high school. And then, so in the fall of 2005, we had one in preschool, one in elementary school, one in middle school, one in high school, and one in college. So they were spaced out, 3 years and 4 years apart. But my mom's like they were barely 2 years apart. So it's like she had 4 children, and it's overwhelming. My mom said she used to say, "Paul, that's all," and that was my 4th brother. It was I have yeah, I'll say I have 5 brothers because I believe in they're still living even though they've passed. And she had 4 boys before she had my sister, a girl, and so apparently that's why my sister and I were so spoiled because we were the only girls. So, but I want to show you the Park Road permaculture video, but let me say a poem first. I'm going to say a poem from the 7-Story Tree. This was inspired by a Need to Breathe song. There's a River in the Wasteland from the same album. That's the title of the album, the title cut. The verse I put before this poem is, "Let us therefore come boldly before the throne of grace, that we may obtain mercy and find grace to help in time of need." Oh, let me do a double video. Let me do a double video. Hi, doing a double video again. I'm live and I'm going to say there's a river in the wasteland from the 7-Story Tree. I will hold my head up high, never let them see me cry. They try to take it all away, but they can't take away my joy, my Jesus, my peace, my dignity, my praise. There's a crack in the door filled with light. I am unstoppable, a force to be reckoned with, like a mighty river. If God is on my side, who can be against me? So I'll just let the river wash away these lesser things and be about worshiping my King. And that's the end. Okay. Let me show you this video from Park Road Permaculture. Let me show you. So this was from this morning, and I want to show you this video. Because this is important. It's scary, but it's important.
It is 11:15 a.m. Pacific time on Monday, April 21st, and I just found out that my Congresswoman Maxine Dexter is in El Salvador demanding the release of Kilmar Abrego Garcia. It's actually on her website to request a meeting with her staff, and the first thing that was there was a press release. U.S. Reps Dexter, Garcia, Frost, and Ansari arrive in El Salvador to pressure Trump administration to abide by Supreme Court order and facilitate return of wrongly deported Maryland man Kilmar Abrego Garcia. Again, this is breaking today, April 21st, right now in El Salvador. U.S. Representatives Maxine Dexter, Robert Garcia, Maxwell Frost, and Yasmin Ansari arrived in El Salvador to pressure the Trump administration to abide by a Supreme Court order to facilitate the return of Kilmar Abrego Garcia, a Maryland man with protected legal status who was unlawfully deported by the Trump regime. Fuck yeah, Maxine. This is exactly what we need. Thank you. Thank you for being willing to stand up for the rule of law.
That is what we need.
Due process for justice. I have never been more happy that I voted for you than I am right now today. I'm going to read a little bit from The Guardian, who is covering this breaking story. But I want to say right now to anybody watching this video, if you think that your electeds, especially your Democratic electeds, cannot be pushed to do more, to be more aggressive, to stand up, to fight back, Dr. Dexter is a great example of how she needed the people behind her, giving her that feedback, pushing her, telling her over and over, we need more from you. We know that you are a freshman in Congress, but we need you to stand up and be the kind of leader that Oregonians need and that America needs. And she has fucking done it. I have watched her get more and more outspoken, take bigger and bolder steps, listen to her constituents and take that feedback and say, it's my job to represent my district in Oregon, to represent my constituents who live here, what they want, and to protect the Constitution and defend the rule of law. Every town hall, every meeting, every event I have gone to have seen this progression of Dr. Dexter. She is listening. She is taking the feedback from her constituents. And not only that, she has said repeatedly she needs it so that she can go to her colleagues and say, I got 1,000 calls about this issue this week. My constituents are demanding that I do XYZ by the thousands. And so I need to act on this. Do you not see the public pressure here? Do you not see all of these Americans who don't like what this regime is doing and don't like the inaction of the Democratic Party? So it's not only that she can say, I am doing what my constituents want. She can go to her colleagues and say, I have a mandate to do do you should be concerned that you are not doing enough.
She has a mandate. Trump does not.
We need to rise to the occasion. We need to do right by the American people. Unlike smarmy politicians like Gavin Newsom, who are saying what is happening to Kilmar Abrego Garcia is a distraction. Dexter, Frost, Garcia, and Ansari understand, much like Senator Van Hollen said yesterday. This is not a distraction. This is a core issue. Not only is it an injustice, what is being done to Kilmar, it threatens the due process rights of every American. This is not a distraction. This is absolutely the thing that all of our electeds need to be focusing on, drawing attention to. I want to read more on this breaking story. There is a piece out in The Guardian this morning. A delegation of 4 House Democrats has arrived in El Salvador to push for the release of Kilmar Abrego Garcia, part of a mission to challenge the Trump administration's refusal to comply with the Supreme Court order to facilitate the return of the immigrant to the United States. Again, Representatives Ansari, Dexter, Frost, and Garcia touched down yesterday. They are seeking to meet with Abrego Garcia, who has lived in the U.S. for more than a decade. He's married to an American citizen. He has a son who is an American citizen. There was an order of protection forbidding his removal to El Salvador. Ansari is correct here. Even with all of the illegal actions we've seen over the last couple months, I think this is the one that terrifies me most when it comes to the future of our democracy. Very scary. This is exactly what I said as well. This is something that we cannot look away from. This threatens all of us. This threatens every person in the United States. This threatens the future of our democracy. This is not a distraction, Gavin Newsom. This is all hands on deck for every elected, every American to stand up together and hold the line. This is serious. And I'm so grateful for Congresswoman Dexter and the other reps who are down there right now doing their jobs, defending democracy, doing what the American people have asked, which is take bigger, bolder steps, be theatrical, capture the press, try and do things that people have not done before. This is what leadership looks like right now. This is what resistance looks like right now. This is what upholding democracy looks like from our electeds. And we need more of this.
Yes. Yes, yes, yes.
Untreated alcoholic Pete Hegseth is every.
Good too. Mhm. I like I've had it too podcast. But the I've had it podcast, she said something that was incorrect that I didn't like, because she was doing one on Paula White, and she said that the fundamentalist Christians are Netanyahu's going along with them, just, you know, kind of pandering to them, I guess, because Paula White was talking to Netanyahu. And she said, oh, you listened to them? Yeah, they're good. But she said something the other day, and I left a comment. I don't very often leave a comment. I like their podcast, but that's not correct. It said the reason, like, he's, you know, pandering to, you know, she's trying to say Christians go to the Middle East and blah blah blah, and he wanted her to say that and liked that, and so she says, Jennifer says, well, Christians believe, like, it sets everything up for Jesus to come back and the Jews get sent to hell. And I was like, what the heck? That is not what I was one of them. And those girls are in the Pumps and Jennifer are in the Bible Belt, but no, maybe some of them may believe that, but that was not what I believed. I was like, certainly not. But I didn't really like her saying that, but that's because I used to be one. I'm embarrassed to say that, actually. But and I realized, though, I realized I was, like, in the cult when it was forming. I was in the cult when it was forming. I was, homeschooling. I was, I knew people that were in the, what's his name? Basic Institute of Life Principles guy. It's a homeschooling guy who now has been charged with a lot of abuse, and it's a cult. And I thought it was like it's a basic institute, and it was started by Bill Gothard. That's it. The Bill Gothard cult. I knew people in the Bill Gothard cult, and I have a picture of when we were homeschooling, and I got a picture of me with Dole. We went to Colorado Springs, and we went to I used to listen to Dobson all the time, and we went to their headquarters in Colorado Springs. These elected cowards need to be forced out. Right, exactly. And it all, things happen to me, and they're like deja vu, and it's like, because Trump and them are bullies, right? And I saw the same thing, and some of it's Democrats, and many of them are Republicans, of course, that are going along with him because they're cowardly. And it's the same thing. They're bullies. And like when I was bullied, like I said, I was bullied by these people on YouTube, and then I was put out of the group of YouTubers. It was van life, RV, and travel YouTubers. I was put out of the group. And then people that I thought were my friends that would be on my side and be like, hey, I didn't do anything, me, are siding with the bully. And that's like it's the same thing I'm seeing over and over and over. And it's like in my family too. Because that's good that you listen to it daily. I need to listen to something daily. Um, Ian doesn't like, although Ian, agrees with me politically, because all my children don't. My oldest that is not talking to me agrees with her daddy-o, and the whole being in the Trump is like a cult, and being in with the narcissist is like a cult, because and it also was the same thing when I experienced church abuse and left the church, and then some people that I thought would remain my friends would not, because they didn't want to go against the organization. And it's the same thing. And then partly my anxiety comes from, it's a natural thing to have anxiety to be put out of a group, because that used to be survival. It used to be you couldn't survive without your tribe. Now you can. You're not very healthy mentally, but now you can go find another tribe. But like back, and that's why it causes people so much abandonment. Trauma is real, and it was like a survival tactic, and that is why it helps me understand like why I did have so much anxiety. It made my channel blow up, you guys. It made my channel blow up. But then they got mad, and that's what led them to do another video. But it made my channel blow up, but it also gave me so much anxiety that I wasn't able to keep doing the videos like I was before. And at first it made my channel blow up, and then I had to step away. I had to step away from going to other lives and stuff too, because they would follow me around. They would follow me around and stalk and harass me at other people's lives. It was really, really bad. That's why I really did start to think like, I don't want to have to sue them, but I really kind of think I have a case, because they screwed up my YouTube, they screwed up my mental health. I definitely would have been like, both those people are monetized. The initial bully, he got monetized off of my his video bashing me. It was his most viewed live stream. It was like insane. It was like something you would never in a million years, like something you would never in a million years think would happen to you. It was just like, what the hell? Let me show you something. I like this little book I found at Below 5, and it's really cute. It has these little things in it. To believe yourself brave is to be brave. Joan of Arc. I wonder if she really said that. But then it has little journaling prompts. What are 5 things you would do if you didn't feel afraid? Now close your eyes and believe you are brave. You are brave. How will you move towards each of these 5 things? And so when you rise in the morning, it's beautiful pictures too. When you rise in the morning, think on what a precious privilege it is to be alive, to breathe, to think, to enjoy, to love. Marcus Aurelius. There's one in here. I love that with the lions too. See the lions? The lions, Pam. I had the epiphany that laughter was light and light was laughter, and that this was the secret of the universe. Donna Ty Goldfinch. I don't know. I've never heard of her. But there's one here that I crossed out and I put, let me show you it. See this one? I've seen this meme online. This is bullshit. And it says, and I've heard this a couple of times, I've seen the meme, you will become way less concerned with what other people think of you when you realize how seldom they do. And that is just not the point at all. You shouldn't give a crap about, you should have your love of yourself, because, and that's why you shouldn't care what they think about you. But sometimes other people are, especially trolls and stalkers and crazy bully stalker trolls, like the people that were making videos about me. They were obviously obsessed with me, and I was like flabbergasted. I was like, what the hell, you know? And sometimes I'm just like, what the hell? I feel like my mom was more right, but still not awesome, not a great, not really a very helpful thing to say. But my mom would say, they're just jealous, ignore them. And you need to stand up to bullies. But so my mom gave me wrong advice in that, she was like, they're just jealous, which might have been true, but you can't always ignore them. I would try to avoid them and ignore them, but yeah, that's not always the best case, and every situation can be different too. They also gang up. They get other people to bully you. They get other people to reject you. And that's what, kids take their own lives because of this. And it's so full of anxiety. And when I think about, I did a video, I've done a lot of videos on mental health, and I did a video with Box Van D on depression and suicide. And it was because of Lee, who took her life with Lee, and used to be Lee and Max. And I knew her through Eamon and Beck's channel. And she took her own life because this guy was bullying her and getting other people to say mean and nasty things to her online. So I feel like that was really a case of, she was being bullied and she took her own life. She threw herself in front of a train. It was just so sad. Let me share with you my video. Let's see. I don't know where it is. I need to look on my channel. So yeah. And that is why, all of that is why people get afraid and they won't speak out. They won't side with you because and Box Van D got afraid. And I feel like that's why she bailed on me. She bailed on me, and so did Tanya of Van Life Voyages, because they didn't want, the other people were getting onto her because she was siding with me. Her and Tanya were siding with me, and then the bullies got onto them. And so they bailed on me and unmoderated me. And I was just like, and I was members of both of their channels. It was like so messed up. It was so messed up. But here's the video I did because of Life with Lee. Yeah, they are cowards. Exactly. They were cowards. And so it's the same situation with this stuff. And people need to, they're afraid to stand up to Trump because he screws with everybody. And we can't be afraid. We can't be afraid. Let me show you. Let me see. Um, I'll share with you Life with Lee's YouTube. And if you Google her Lee McMillan, it will come up her story. But it was funny that I talked about that, and then basically the same thing happened to me. And then I got in trouble. I said the wrong thing, but then they jumped on it because I joked. Yeah, the Bible says to pray for your enemies. I had just come back to God, you guys, and I was like, I was so vulnerable at that time. I was so it just was, yes. I was having anxiety about traveling in my RV. I had gone back to Georgia. Well, right about the same time. I had gone back to Georgia, and that just didn't go well. It wasn't really the time for me to go back to Georgia. And anyways, here's Life with Lee's channel. It just was so all these things, like, though, I feel like God has used to teach me things. But yeah. And then, but I like this little book, except for that one, like, because it's not true that nobody thinks of, I mean, that's just like, it's kind of like a backhanded compliment, you know. It's bullshit, you know. It's bullshit. You will become less concerned with become less concerned with what others think about you when you learn to love yourself and accept yourself. That's what you need to do. You will become way less concerned with what others think about you. It's just a very slap in the face. Like, you're fucking stupid for thinking anybody's thinking about you, when they could be thinking about you a whole lot, and you're just flabbergasted. I'm like, what the hell, you know? The one bully that, and I think she got upset because I think he was kind of interested in me, and I just wasn't interested in him. And I had just been rejected by the other YouTuber that I was crushing on. And, you know, you will become less concerned with what other people think about you when you realize how seldom they do. And it's just like, it's kind of like a backhanded compliment. It's kind of like, nobody's thinking about you. Like, and they might be, you know, you might become flabbergasted like me and be like, I didn't know they were thinking about me. And it, you know, it's just producing more of the same. It's just a stupid, that's a stupid meme, a stupid saying. Yeah. So 1 hour and 14 minutes. Let me find another poem to say for you. Oh, I have a poem that, oh my goodness. This is how my poems come about. Oh goodness. It's, this is a vulnerable poem. So I wrote a poem recently, and I haven't been writing a lot of poems recently, and I need to. Yeah, bullying is so wrong and hurtful. Yeah, and it's those people that it's like they're mad because you're not thinking about them. Like they're obsessed with you. And that's what it's more like. It's like That's what it's more like, is that the bullies are obsessing and thinking about you. Like I want to create a opposite meme or something and be like, you will be astonished when you realize that there's people who are, you know, who hate you for no reason because they're jealous, or, you know, who are thinking about you because they don't have what you have, or, you know, what could be a good opposite one for that? I would just like to say, you will become less concerned about what people think about you when you love yourself. And it's just like, I don't give a crap, you know? And I had to learn to not give a crap about anyone, because it hurt more. It hurt so much more that these people that I thought were my friends rejected me than even the bullies. Like, I didn't really care about the bullies, but then getting other people to hate on me, and for no reason, and for at all, and it was hard. And then you're trying to counter the lies with the truth and defend yourself, and then they're saying, don't do that, man, turn the other cheek. And like, you know, I wanted to say, fuck off. You know, when someone does this to you, then you can tell me what to do, okay? Because you don't know how this feels. You don't know what I'm going through, and you're not being my friend when you're telling me what to do. Anybody comes up in here, and it happens on and off. It still happens on and off. If you're an empathic person and you're like a kind person, and you are, you know, acquiescing to people, you're going to attract people who want to control you. And I've had people come up in here and try to tell me what to talk about on my channel, what not to talk about. Don't talk about this, talk about this, don't talk about that. We're going to build your channel here. I'm like, this is pretty much a one-woman show. Like, you know, I'm sorry. Like, even if you're a moderator like that, you're not working on my channel. You're not doing my channel. You know, especially you live in another state. Like, how could you be working on my channel with me? My son might be able to do some things to help me with my channel, because, you know, he knows young people know more about technology crap and stuff like that. But, you know, someone who's just a follower in another state is really not going to be someone who, you know, is going to do my channel with me or help me with my channel. And it's controlling is what I feel like it is. And it's also very like codependent. Like, let me fix you. Let me help you fix your channel. You need to not talk about that. And you need to talk about this. And you need to stop doing that. And you need, you know, if you want Red to block you, if you want Red to be, you know, I may not block you, but if you want Red to turn on a dime and be done with you, like, get up here. And like, for 32 years, I was manipulated and controlled, under the manipulation and control of a narcissist for 32 years, you guys. And before that, my dad, you know, another narcissist. I say about, like, I went out of the frying pan into the fire, you know. And so I don't respond well to that. I do not respond well to that. I don't respond well to people telling me what to do. So yeah. But yeah, I wrote this poem that it's kind of, I started it in this journal and I finished it in this journal. This is my Hello Kitty journal. Oh, I got my Kamala sticker on there. Because I wrote it after I left Philly and my daughters, and because it's kind of crazy how it came together, and it was a song too, and it's called Red Eyes, and um, let me just say the poem. It's a lot of stuff. There's a lot in it. I'm just gonna say it, but it's what happened when I was in with my daughter, um, and when I found the red eye from Ian's puzzle that my dad made him when he was a little baby. I think he was a baby, but it's based on this Switchfoot song called Red Eyes. And also a Paris Paloma song called Too Much Labor. No, why is this doing this? Okay. It's just sort of wild. Always the yard work when I'm live. Always, always, always. But that's okay. That's okay. So this is called Red Eyes. What are you aiming for out here alone? I said I'm aiming for home, but I can't find it in Megaland, Pennsylvania. Even in crowds, I'm alone. We had a daughter I watched and could not save her. That's from the song Too Much Labor. Emotional torture. With red eyes, we are Stepford wives, doing everything, too much labor, but nothing at all at once. Just to be thrown away one day. The two I met, that's my middle children, Ian and Claire. He met me there, flew on the red eye. That was Ian. A lovely Christmas Eve, like 2023. But her sisters and my grandson FaceTimed. I froze. Emotional torture from the head of your high table. I almost feel like my youngest daughter did it on purpose. Probably her dad told her to do it. The capillaries in my eyes are bursting, crying. If our love died, would that be the worst thing? I used to exist to serve him, but now I exist to serve you? I am second, third, last. I will not leave this place until I'm made a fool. I don't put on my mask first, and we both perish. I wasn't taking care of myself, you know? I didn't have any boundaries. Home to Denver, and I realize it's better, but not the best. I want to move to California. The whole thing that happened with my daughter in Philly made me realize, made me come back to myself and realize, yeah, I don't really want to move there. I was just astonished and happy that she invited me to move there, and then afraid to say no to her. But I realized too, she didn't really want me to move there. Home to Denver, and I realized it's better, but not the best. I want to move to California. I'll sell your stuff to make a buck. The stuff Ian left at my apartment in Denver. You could have made much on these video games. I sold his video games, made $100. You just throw everything away like your mom. And the puzzle your grandfather made with the missing red eye. That's how all these things come together. I found the eye and my self-worth and all at once. And I knew what to do, what I wanted to all along. Move back to California. Some people lose their hearts to the ones who broke them. Never get them back. They're forever stolen. That's from a Sarah Reeves song. I left my broken heart in the snow somewhere in Colorado. Red Eyes Crying in a Shakespeare's tragedy are a sappy heartbreak song. I'm going back to the green sea where I want to be, green eyes shining with hope for me. Hello, San Diego. And so, like, that whole, I do a lot of story poems. And so that whole poem is a story about how I came back to my original desire of my heart was to move back to California. So even though it was so tempting to move by my granddaughters, and so lovely to be desired and wanted and loved. It's wonderful to be loved. It's wonderful, and it's horrible to be, because that's what the bullying is. It's rejection. And that's what the bullying is. It's rejection, and it's wonderful to be loved. And that's what we were made for. We were made for connection. We were made for love. And, you know, and we need our tribe. We need our people. And that's why, like, I'm so happy that Ian's here. At first I was just leery because I don't trust anybody. It's like all my kids, all my family, they've hurt me. They've rejected me. They've excluded me. They've, all my, my brother, my sister, my children, the YouTube community, it's just like, it's very, very hard for me to trust. But, we got to learn to do it again. And, it's what's best for us. It's what we were made for. We were made for. I wrote that. It was funny. I started it on January 14th because I left Philly on the 27th or the 28th, I think, of December after Christmas. And I started it on January 14th. And then I finished it on February 14th, which was the day after my grandson's birthday, because I have a grandson I haven't met. Yeah, that was kind of funny because I started it on January 14th, finished it on February 14th, because I did it after I found Ian's red eye, and I got the little, you guys seen the little dragon that says Ian? It's on my, I'll show you on my Instagram. And in a way, I guess that was kind of a foreshadowing. It was kind of a foreshadowing that Ian and I were going to meet up again down here in San Diego. And I originally thought, I'm like, eventually maybe he'll follow me there, because he kept saying he wanted to go to someplace warmer. And he wasn't really finding, a long-term job in Bend. So, and so I thought he might eventually follow me, but I didn't know it was going to be like right away. Which it all worked out, and I'm happy, and I like the house. He likes the house too. And let me show you on Instagram. Here is my Instagram. There are links below. There are links below to my Instagram and Facebook and all of that. And here's my Instagram. And let me go down and show you what I mean by the red eye. The red eye was missing. And I was about to pay someone. To make a little tiny red eye for this puzzle because I wanted to save it. I wanted him to have it because it's something his grandpa made. His grandpa passed, and here it is. It plays. I made it play the Switchfoot song. I was like, oh, that's perfect. I got to make it play the Switchfoot song. But for some reason, whatever reason, it doesn't play on my computer. But yeah, there it is. And it's a little thing that my dad made. So yeah. I wrote that poem before I came here. I think he knows, and I think his dad might have wanted him to go back to Georgia because Ian has often helped. He's like the best one that he can get along with his brother. And so my older son, I can't, because of it's hard. I can't really talk about some of it, but a lot of it. But anyways, but Ian has been helpful in the past with his brother, who's older. But that's kind of like my brothers, Chris and Paul. Chris was older, but Paul helped him, and Paul was the fourth of my brothers. Yeah, it's a dragon. And the thing that's cool about that is, at the time I was so dogmatic, so ridiculous. For a while I didn't have my kids watch Harry Potter. I didn't. I remember my brother Paul gave my son Teddy a little horse on a. It was a knight, and he was going to give. I didn't like dragons because the devil's called the dragon of old in the Bible, but it's like so ridiculous. But anyways, and it's an Oriental dragon, and what my kids are 1/4 Taiwanese, because my ex is 1/2 Taiwanese. So that's what's cool. And my mother-in-law said when we named him Ian, it's a Scottish form of John, which means God is gracious. And my dad's mom was Scottish, so my dad was adopted, but it's a Scottish form of John, and there's Johns in our family. And without using the name John, which is very common, like I have a brother, Jonathan. My mom used it that way, but he had an Uncle John. My Uncle Johnny had an Uncle John. So there's John in our family. And so instead of using the traditional John, we named him Ian. And then their grandmother, my mother-in-law, said that sounds like my dad's name, which was Ing. Ian sounds like, and a lot of people would say it wrong. Ian. They would say it like more with the I. And I remember when Claire was a baby, she would call him E. So when Claire, was born and started to talk, she would call Ian E. But so that was cool. And so the dragon is kind of cool. And, it got over the dogmatic ridiculousness. I got over my cult tendencies. I got over my stupidness. I got out of the MAGA cult before it formed. When Trump came on the scene, that was just enough for me. I'm like, gosh, I don't think I'm going to be a Republican anymore. I'm done. So left the cult. But yeah, it's a dragon. It's one of the Oriental dragons. And my dad would get like patterns, and he made all these things. And oh gosh, something happened yesterday. So I have a video about my dad, and it has some of the it shows I have a wood thing that my dad wrote Susan in, which is, my name is not Susan, but my name is Susan. My real name is Susan. Shh, don't tell anybody. Don't tell anybody. So I have this video, and it's called About Your Dad. Let me find it, and I'll drop it in the thing. So the wood thing my dad made me, I put it on the top of the oven, and it fell last night. It fell behind the oven, and I'm like, oh my goodness, we got to pull this out. I need to get one of those things that grabbers. That's what I need to do. Because maybe if we could just pull it out a little bit, and then we got one of those things that you grab things with. But it fell behind the oven last night. And it was my name in the rest of them, like Ian and Claire and Lydia, he made them puzzle names. Not any is cool. Ian's is the coolest one. And it, I think my dad showed favoritism because my dad was very much a misogynist. And because like the puzzles for Claire and Lydia are just like puzzles. You know, I left them in the storage with my oldest daughter to give to her sisters. So Claire and Lydia, I should have asked Claire if she got that from Sarah. I didn't ask her that. She did get a train, one of the wooden trains, because I had a whole big box. And my daughter did use, there was a Noah's Ark my dad made with the little wooden animals and a beautiful Noah's Ark and Noah. And no Mrs. Noah. Like I said, he's a misogynist. So he made Ian so cool. And Ian's middle name is Peter for my dad also. So I think he was just very happy to have a namesake. So so it was the coolest one he made. But mine is just my name written in cursive. And it's in this video, so let me show you. And I called it About Your Dad because of the similarities between my dad and my ex. And I had since been going to make a video about my mom, and I have not. But I do talk about my mom all the time, but I haven't made a video about her yet. Let me see something. But if you look at this video, you'll know what I'm talking about. The name thing. Because when he was retired and they moved back to California, he needed something to do. I think that possibly my dad wasn't bipolar either, like my mom had thought, and maybe some people thought. I think he might have been autistic or ADHD and autistic and narcissistic, obviously. And you can have autism and narcissism together. You can. And just for a reference point, Elon Musk is Asperger's and narcissism. So here's the About Your Dad video. I'm gonna say a poem now that I said for my dad. I said for my dad and my stepmother in 2014. So 2014 was when I like memorized a lot of these. Let me stop sharing this. Is when I memorized some of these, and so one of them I memorized. Oh, and my friends in Denver, that Ellery couple, David and Barbie, I said this poem for them. They invited me to their house one Sunday after church, and The Haunting. It's in this one, and I will tell you later. But you can tell me if you recognize it. But there is a lyric from a hymn in this one. There's lots of lyrics in my poems. So you can do like a search. There's lots of lyrics. There's one Shakespeare quote. There's a C.S. Lewis quote. There's a quote from a woman historian. Well-behaved women seldom make history, so perhaps there's hope for me. That's in one of my poems called Fishing with Fire. That's in this one. But this is called The Haunting, and this poem was inspired by the... Wait, I might have already done a double video of this, but I'll do it again. I'm keeping going. I don't know. I'm just trying. I'm trying. I need to see how long I can have them hold a package. I don't think I have to rush. Hi, I'm doing a double video. I'm live and I'm saying this poem from the 7-Story Tree called The Haunting. This poem was inspired by the classic devotional by Oswald Chambers, My Utmost for His Highest. Oswald asks the piercing question, what are you haunted by? And states that we should be haunted by God. The Haunting. I could just run away, try to live my way another day, but what would be the use? Wasted time, a wasted life, but then again, I could give it all to him and he transforms it. If I turn to the left or to the right, you're halfway there, or perhaps not quite. I hear him all the time. I open my eyes and he lights up the sky. In a song, I see him. In a tree, he's there. What is this love he has for me? Wherever I go, to a movie or show, there isn't a thought he doesn't know. He is the great I am, and yet he is my friend. It's too wonderful to comprehend. He'll always be there till the end. When we've been there 10,000 years, his voice will echo in my ears. Still his praises I will sing, always and forever. He is my king. So, yeah, I am going to pray for y'all and let you go. I've almost gone 2 hours. So thank you all for being here. I don't know what the deal is with the other video. Maybe because, here's my license. Maybe because it was like one of the first videos from my tiny home. Maybe that's why, but I would love to get more of my lives up there in views like last Mondays. So thank you for watching the replay. Thank you for watching my channel. And yeah, thanks. I'm gonna do a prayer list and pray for y'all. Thanks for coming in, Ivan. I don't know if you're still here, but appreciate it. You are still here. Okay, good. Cool. Um, I like the I've Had It podcast. I really do. I'm trying to get. Oh, my computer's not scrolling right for me today. Okay, got Pam and Ivan. That's who I have on my prayer list. I'll pray for others too. Thank you all for being here. I appreciate it. Appreciate it. It says 2 watching. I'm no mystery viewers. Okay. No more mystery viewers. I had someone who kept bringing up the mystery viewers, and so maybe they were spying on them because now the mystery viewers are gone. Which I didn't like. Whatever. She kept theorizing, or contemplating, or trying to figure out who the mystery viewers were, and I really don't care. Sorry, don't care. They're just viewers. Okay, thank you for the views. I appreciate it. Dear Lord, thank you for these friends and followers. I pray that you be with them. Thank you for giving Ivan a safe trip back home, and pray you bless him and his family and his friends, and be with him, and thank you for his support. Please bless Pam and her family and her friends, and thank you for her friendship and support of this channel. I pray for those who didn't make it here today, Lord, that you would bless them and be with them. Help us all to remain informed and do what we can to resist this regime, Lord. I pray for Emma, that you would be with her in the UK, and bless her and her family and be with her. Lord, we just pray for this country. We pray for Garcia, that they would get him out of there, Lord, that people would continue to speak up and out about this horrible situation, Lord, and these people sent to El Salvador without due process, Lord. This is so, so scary. I can understand why people are not wanting to face it or deal with it or acknowledge it. It's scary, Lord. It's very scary. But help us not to be afraid and to speak up. Thank you for the lawsuits, and thank you that Gavin Newsom did do a lawsuit. He did a lawsuit because of the tariffs and the rising taxes. Like, God knows California's taxes are high enough, right? Lord, just thank you for those leaders speaking up and being brave. And we pray that more of them will speak up and be brave. Help us to call, help us to get involved. Help me to get involved, Lord. Thank you for Ian, especially, and for all my children, my grandchildren. I pray you bless them and be with them, and my ex also, Lord, my family, my ex's parents who are still living. I pray that you would watch over them and be with them, Lord. And yeah, I just pray for them, Lord. Please help us just to continue to resist this administration and guide us in what to do, Lord. Thank you for guiding me here. Thank you for my tiny house. Thank you for my son. Please let everything go smoothly when I am to get the house in my name. Thank you that I passed my driver's test. Yeah, I pray all these things in Jesus' name. Amen. Okay. All right. Don't say that no one cares for you, because I do, and God does too. Don't forget to pray for Red, because Red is praying for you. Bye. I'll see you on Friday at noon. Thanks so much, Pam. Thanks, Ivan. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thanks for watching the replay, everybody. Appreciate it. My watch time is going up again, slowly but surely. So I'm going to try to do some more shorts, because that seems like what you guys want. All righty. Bye.